Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's program, we're going to be looking at the Silver and Black's biggest winners, not many, and losers from their 41-24 loss to the Washington Commanders and Week 3 action. Now, I use a term that is known as a real one. And a real one is somebody that shows up on a live Monday show. A real one is somebody that hits that subscribe button and wants the entire world to know the way that they feel. A real one is somebody that understands that Brennan Carroll is a major, major problem for this organization. And if you want the Raiders to move on from Brennan Carroll and start JPJ at center, hit that subscribe button and type RO4L down below. So the way that this show is going to go, I'm going to start with the winners on offense, then I'm going to go to the losers on offense, then I'm going to go to the winners on defense, and then I'm going to go to the losers on defense. Typically, I like to give out 5 winners and 5 losers. Today, though, there's just going to be a lot less winners, and it's just because of how bad we were yesterday. I am going to put Ashton Jeanty as a winner on this list, and I say that because I think he silenced a lot of the critics in last night's game. People that are going, oh, he's a bust. Oh, he doesn't have the explosive burst. Oh, he doesn't have the it factor. I think people are just saying that because they don't actually watch the games, and they're just box score hunting. Like Ryan Clark is the perfect example of everything wrong with ESPN. Lazy analysis. People don't watch the game. They follow a narrative because it's the easy thing to do, and they run with it to get views and they get clicks. That's why people don't watch ESPN anymore. It's why people, I know for a fact, watch this show, and obviously ESPN gets more views because it's ESPN, but there's a reason why Chat Sports is the fastest growing media company on YouTube right now. It's because our hosts know our teams better than the people that is on national television. But you saw the burst from Jeanty yesterday. You saw the ability to run between the tackles. You saw him being able to truck people, and he looked way better than Dylan Laube and Zamir White in pass protection, and it wasn't even close. Let's go to number 2 here, and it's going to be Geno Smith. Yeah, some of these stats are a little bit empty. No doubt about it, right? 19 of 29, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns. But I don't think we have a quarterback problem. I don't think that we have a running back problem. I know we have an offensive line problem. And if we can figure out the offensive line, it's just going to open up everything so much more for Chip Kelly. It's going to open up everything so much more for this entire offense. But to me, it's got to be really frustrating for a quarterback like Geno to every time he steps back to throw, he's got to be wondering, when am I about to get hit? When am I about to get cooked? When is this pocket about to collapse? And there's a lot of pressure on him because if they don't throw the ball, he knows that they aren't good enough to be able to run it. But number 1, and I don't even think it's all that much of rocket science here, it's Tre Tucker, 3 touchdowns, an unbelievable performance, and quite frankly, a career game for Tucker, who, crazy enough, is the only player on the Raiders that has a receiving touchdown. Kind of an outstanding, unbelievable stat, quite frankly. Geno Smith's got 4 passing touchdowns this season. Tre Tucker has all 4 of them. And I made a lot of videos this offseason say Tucker's ready to break out. He's the number 1 sleeper receiver on the Raiders that nobody's talking about. I knew that Tucker was going to have a good season. I didn't think he'd get out to this hot of a start. But one of the things that I did mention last week was Tucker got a lot more open on tape than I originally realized. And I think what you're seeing is the Raiders are going to start incorporating him into this offense just a little bit more. Now what I want to be able to do here is ask you guys a question. And typically on a winners and losers show, I ask you for the pinned comment, who was the Raiders' biggest winner against the Commanders? It's not what I'm asking you, though. That's why it's in caps. Loser. The key word for this show is loser. Loser. Can you name that TV reference? He's a guy that lives under the water. Let me know, though, down below. Who was the Raiders' biggest loser versus the Commanders? My answer coming up here in just a moment. The biggest loser from the Raiders' Week 3 game, Brennan Carroll and this entire offensive line, which is where we are going to go next up here on the show. And I see people spamming SpongeBob. Do you remember the guy that says loser? Bonus points if you get that one right. So usually what I do here for the losers is I go through number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. I don't want to waste any time on this offensive line because the offensive line doesn't deserve to have time wasted on it. Jordan Meredith stunk. Dylan Parham stunk. Alex Cappa was worse. DJ Glaze I thought was worse than everybody. And then Brennan Carroll has made every single one of these offensive lineman pieces worse. I don't know why JPJ is not starting. If he's healthy enough to play on special teams, why is he not healthy enough to play in the actual game? I think we need leadership from our offensive line. I think we need leadership in general. I'll also say this. JPJ, I'm looking at you, and I've done a lot of backing you up. Put a Guardian cap on. Put your best foot forward. Show this team that even you are willing to change. And I don't know if there's something you got against it, but with all the concussion issues that you've had, it's also unfair for me to sit up here and go, this change needs to happen. Change needs to happen from you too. Get that Guardian cap on. Get the neck pad, whatever the heck it is, because the head, it needs to be okay. Probably a pause that deserves to go in there. Coming up next here on the show, it's going to be the biggest winners and losers on the defensive side of the football. And I got to give a shout out to our sponsor here, Prize Picks. And you and I make decisions every day. Somehow we make decisions to follow this Raiders team every day. But on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Also, Prize Picks, I had this lineup yesterday. Patrick Mahomes, more. Jacoby Myers, more. And Brennan Carroll, maybe it's not a lot of money, but you know what? Brennan Carroll cost me $60 because if Ashton Jeanty could have got 3.5 yards on that very first carry, then I could have turned $10 into $60. But, yeah, I get it. Not a lot of money. But I also don't like being wrong. And I also am kind of sick and tired of being right because I know the moment that they decide to put JPG in at center, you're going to see a lot more results. But because the Raiders seem like they might be a frustrating team this season, if you put a lineup in on Prize Picks, and there's a game tonight, and I'm going to have a lineup in for Monday Night Football, no doubt about it. If you love watching football, get a lineup in. You're going to love watching the game a whole lot more. So download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Let's go to the winners now on the defensive side of the football. And again, it was hard to find winners on the defensive side. Like I'm not trying to lie to y'all. I didn't necessarily know who to go with here, but the reason why I'm going to say Devin White was a winner here, and it's only because of the snaps he played. Now, he did lead the team in tackles at the linebacker position. Do I think he was good in run defense? No, not really. Do I think he was really good in tackling? No, not really. But in all honesty, it was really difficult for me to be able to find some names that you could throw in as a winner. Now, I thought about putting Darian Porter in here because he did get, I was probably around, if I had to guess, 15 to 20 snaps yesterday and got some time in over Kyu Blu Kelly once he got benched. I thought about putting in Darnay Holmes, but to me, he probably only played a handful, 10 snaps at the absolute most. The reason why Devin White is a winner, and the only reason why he's a winner on this team, he played the most snaps at linebacker, which in my mind tells me that they have a lot of confidence in Devin White. In no way am I saying that he played a good game. Let's go to number 2 here. It's going to be Thomas Booker. And to me, Booker just continuously shows that he is the best defensive tackle on this roster. My problem is only 35 snaps. How's that possible? To me, we got to be able to figure out how to get more snaps out of Booker. And it's not a Booker problem. Again, it's our coaching staff maybe not using these guys correctly. But you have to be able to tip your cap to Booker because the punch play that he had where he was able to run 23 yards down the field, punch the ball out of Mariota's hands, it gave us an opportunity to get the momentum on our side. I have loved what I've seen from Booker. I have loved the effort that he puts on tape. And to me, we won the Ja'Cory Bennett trade because I can't even imagine what this defense would look like if we didn't have Thomas Booker helping us get a little bit of pressure. But coming in here at number 1, and again, this is not even a difficult one to be able to discuss. Maxx Crosby was by far the biggest winner on defense yesterday. He needs more help. If there's one thing that I'll poke at for Maxx, it's his tackling. I think it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. The long run by Jeremy McNichols, Maxx had an opportunity to get him. And for a guy like Maxx Crosby, it's unacceptable. But I also think we got to be able to realize what Maxx is doing, because what Ashton Jeanty is trying to accomplish behind this Raiders run-blocking offensive line, it kind of makes me feel like the same thing that Maxx is trying to accomplish on the defensive side, where if it's not 98 and Thomas Booker, I don't know who's going to get pressure on the quarterback. Like, it ain't going to be Malcolm Koonce, I'll tell you that right now. So Maxx is trying to win with double teams, triple teams coming against him. The one play he had yesterday where he timed it perfectly, got right into the backfield, and he sacked and made the running back stop at the exact same play. He is the most dynamic player on our defense. He's playing a lot of snaps, no doubt about it. 58 yesterday, tied for the tied for the team high. He is the best player on our defense, and to me, he was the number one reason why I have hope on that defensive side of the football. Coming up next here, though, we're going to talk about some of the losers, and unfortunately, there are a lot of losers that need to be discussed. One person who was not a loser and one person that really made yesterday's show a lot of fun. Huge shout out to Kane Michael B for being a legend in our Week 3 game day. We are going to be the number one most watched Raiders show on the planet for Raiders game day. If you can't actually make it to a game, here's where you should be. But I also know it wasn't only Kane doing a lot of crazy shit yesterday. Oh, Horse and his beer showed up. Big mother effing Bill showed up. My brother 93 Nabman. Venthrak was here in the building. Ryan McDonald tried to get rowdy. Refined Zeus was dropping bangs on Venmo. Common Raider, the Night Devil. And then, I can't see who that name is. It might be Husker. I'm not 100% sure. Who? Cal Hippie. See, my problem is I know y'all by your regular names, not by your @ names. So I know that a lot of people yesterday did a lot amazing stuff. And I mean this. I appreciate it. I see y'all. I respect it. And I hope that you guys know I'm going to show up here every single day. And I'm going to give you 110% because it's exactly what you guys do. Let's go to the losers now on the defensive side of the football. And I'm going to throw up Elandon Roberts here. And I say that because he played in only 31 snaps. I actually have the snap counts in front of me now, so I won't do my best guesstimates anymore. 31 snaps. He had a run defense tackling grade of 31.7. The reason why Elandon Roberts was brought to this team was for his tackling, for our ability to be able to stop the run. And when you see that we gave up over 200 rushing yards to the Washington Commanders yesterday, a game that you knew they were going to run at you, and we couldn't do anything about it, that's very frustrating. I am looking that PFF has Elandon with a 68.3 overall PFF grade, which is the highest among all linebackers, which I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit surprised by, because there was a lot of times yesterday I was like, man, I feel like Elandon missed that one. But from top to bottom, our linebacker room got worked yesterday, no doubt about it. Coming in here at number 4, biggest loser, Isaiah Pola-Mao. Played all 58 snaps yesterday, but one of those big touchdown plays that he gave up, and I believe this one was to Terry McLaurin, he just got beat deep. And yes, it's also on the corner, Kyu Blu Kelly, but my biggest fear for this defense was we're going to give up big plays. And you've seen now in back-to-back weeks, teams are targeting the side of the field that Isaiah Pola-Mao is on for the deep ball. Why? Because Isaiah Pola-Mao is not a free safety. And this also kind of goes back to me just having concern that do our coaches know our players well enough? Because you playing Isaiah Pola-Mao at free safety is like you playing Jordan Meredith at center. It's not where he's best at. And you're not doing what's best for Isaiah Pola-Mao. You're not doing what's best for this Raiders defense. Also, at the same time, though, Pola-Mao's got to be able to clean it up. If you played him at strong safety, you played him in the box, I guarantee you, he'd have a much better outlook in for his game. Let's now go to number 3 here, and it's going to be Jeremy Chinn. Jeremy Chinn's on this list because, again, Chinn was added to help us really solidify our ability to be able to stop the run. I thought he played well, right? So some people might be going, well, Mitch, why is he a loser? He gave up a touchdown catch. The touchdown grabbed to Luke McCaffrey, and I get it. It's near the end of the game. It's kind of like the nail in the coffin, if you will. But that's Jeremy Chinn's guy. He kind of just gets caught in no man's land. Luke McCaffrey's wide open, touchdown Commanders. So that one's on him. I knew that he would probably struggle a little bit in coverage, which is where he is struggling right now. But also, I put him as a loser at number 3. I don't think he played worse than Isaiah Pola-Mao. I don't think that he played worse than Elandon Roberts. He's number 3 on this list because when you go up against your former team and you get embarrassed the way that you did, that's a really hard pill to swallow. Coming in here at number 2, Raiders losers on defense, Kyu Blu Kelly. This is by far his worst game as a Raider, and it's not even close. He had a 32.6 coverage grade, a 39.2 overall defensive grade. I mean, he gave up that long touchdown ball to Terry McLaurin. He was so bad that he got benched. And he got benched, and it's going to be tough matchups from time to time. I think it's also difficult to ask your corners to cover as long as they're being asked to do. It's tough for Kyu Blu Kelly to go up against, Terry McLaurin. But also, like I mentioned, Kyu Blu Kelly has spent time on that Commanders team. So that's really difficult for him to get benched because then Darian Porter got in. He got 16 total snaps. I don't know what that's going to mean going in next week. Are they going to go back with Kyu Blu? Or are they going to roll with Darian Porter? Time's going to tell. But to me, the number 1 loser from yesterday's game, it's got to be Malcolm Koonce. And I don't know how you come up with another answer besides Malcolm Koonce. He is the lowest graded Raiders defender on PFF at 29.0, which is funny because I made this show way before the PFF grades ever came out. And a lot of times I don't do my winners and losers based on really anything that PFF puts out there. It's based on what I saw, what my gut reaction is, what are the notes that I write down on game day, because I know a lot of y'all see me typing all the time. I write down my own notes. And my number 1 note was Malcolm Koonce sucks. I mean, he just sucks. I don't know what he does. He's just out there taking up space. His effort is horrible. His ability to get after the quarterback is horrible. His ability to set the edge is horrible. And he's just not thinking. Like, the biggest play I honestly think of yesterday's game that people might not talk about is it's 17-10. The Raiders got to punt it away. They get ball back to start the half. Imagine the momentum that we could have had if it would have just been 17-10 going into half. But it's 3rd down and long. We get a stop, but instead of getting them off the field, Malcolm jumps up into the air, grabs the face mask of Marcus Mariota, and pulls him down and celebrates for a second like he got a sack, sees a flag, and he's like, oh my God, I did pull that guy's face mask. Like, it's the brain dead, just non-thinking factors that this team did yesterday over and over and over and over again that makes me wonder how well are we coached. And for Malcolm, I'm concerned for him because he looks like a player that we're paying, and again, we're paying him $12 million. He looks like a guy that I don't know if I would have given him the vet minimum. And I hate saying it because I was so fired up when we got Malcolm. He is so bad right now that you can't put him out there on the football. Like, yeah, he's got to get some reps. He played 23 total snaps yesterday. That number's got to go down. I can't believe I'm saying it. That number has to go down. Tyree Wilson needs to get more work. We need to figure out ways to generate more pressure. I don't know if there's a free agent out there we could sign, but this defense and its inability to get pressure on the quarterback, it's going to become a real issue because we're not only losing in the trenches on offense, we're losing in the trenches on defense too. So I got to know from all y'all, this is winners and losers. Who was the Raiders' biggest winner versus the Washington Commanders? And it's not going to be an easy one for some people. I think it's going to be an easy one for some people because I already know how it's going to go. There's going to be, well, when we play this bad, nobody's a winner. But I do think that there is one player in particular that showed up, showed out, and his name is Tre Tucker. 3 touchdowns, 158 receiving yards. It's starting to click for Tre, and if people hit me with, oh, bitch, it's just garbage time, there were a few catches there where it was third down, and like the one that I really remember, it's a low throw. Tre's got to slide down. He catches it like here, bounce up to his chest. Actually, I was like, oh man, did it hit the ground? I don't know. But they're looking for him on third down. They're looking for him to stretch the field. They are looking for him all around the football field. So to me, it's got to be Tre Tucker, and I don't know how you give it to anybody else. Now, if you didn't know what my live schedule is going to look like, here's what it is. I'm going to be live later on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time for Monday Night Football. I'm going to be live here on the Raiders Report, and I'm actually going to be live on our main YouTube channel, both at the same time, at the same damn time. And then tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time, live on Tuesdays. I'm always live on the Raiders Report at that time. And then Thursday Night Football. If this is what this season's going to look like, I hope and I encourage all of y'all to pull up for Thursday Night Football, because at least there we can have some fun.